Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a very influential African-American civil rights leader in the United States in the 1960s. Some would say he's even the most influential civil rights leader in all of American history. That is, of course, until April 4th of 1968, when at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, he was shot and killed by James Earl Ray. At least, according to the FBI. The rifle used by James Earl Ray was this Remington 760, 30-06 rifle. So today we're going to learn about this firearm, the historical context that led to Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination, and even trying to recreate the shot. And of course talk about one of my personal favorite conspiracy theories as to why the FBI was directly involved in his death. So this is our Remington Model 760. This is a hunting rifle in 30-06. While it's not super common today, it was actually a pretty common hunting rifle in the 1960s. Now, while it may look like your typical hunting rifle, there is one thing about it that makes it rather unique. It's pump action. Pump action rifles are not really super common these days. You mostly just see, pump action shotguns. It's fed from a box magazine. So if you press this button down here, drops out your magazine where you have 4 rounds, I believe, of 30-06. Push that back up, and then you may continue firing. This was definitely somebody's hunting rifle at some point, as it has an old school Weaver mounting system and an older Marlin scope on it. And if you compare the photos, it's pretty close to the original gun that was allegedly used by James Earl Ray to actually take the shot in Memphis. The only thing I'm not exactly sure about as far as matching to the original gun is the twist rate of the rifling, which for those who don't know is how aggressive the rifling is to mean like the amount of rotations before it leaves the barrel. So I'm not really sure if my rifling matches, but that's okay, because as it turns out, according to modern forensic analysis, the rifling on the alleged gun used didn't match the bullet found in Dr. King anyway, so that's a little strange. And yes, I know what you're thinking. I bought it on Gunbroker. Sue me.
So as you guys might know, I've got a bit of a crippling gun broker addiction. And a gun buying addiction like that comes with a couple drawbacks, not least of which being crippling debt. But that doesn't just come from buying guns. It can come from credit cards, personal loans, medical bills, stuff that I'm sure a lot of you guys can actually relate to. Which means a lot of you guys are probably wondering if there was a better way to pay off your debt. Well, that's where PDS Debt comes in. With rising interest rates and cost of living at an all-time high, maybe now's the time to take some initiative to get your debt under control. So if you're making payments every month but your balances aren't going down, this might be for you. PDS Debt rolls all of your payments into one low monthly payment, which can pay off your debt in a fraction of the time, while also saving you thousands on interest and fees. Best part is everybody with over $10,000 in eligible debt qualifies, and there's no minimum credit score required. So bad and fair credits both accepted. PDS Debt will also give you a free debt savings analysis just for completing the 30-second online debt assessment at pdsdebt.com/bh. You'll receive a full breakdown on how to save interest each month and the quickest way to take care of your debt. So be sure to check them out. Go to the links in the description and in the pinned comment. That's pdsdebt.com/bh. Now back to the content.
So today we're going to use cameras and a ballistic dummy head, and I'm going to explain exactly where Dr. King was shot that day in that motel and attempt to visually recreate the damage. But first, I think it's important to show the level of damage we're talking about that James Earl Ray would have at his disposal. That's James Earl Jones, James Earl Ray. Yeah, thank you. So to demonstrate the kind of energy we can get out of a 30-06, you guys know what's coming. White Claw penetration test. Let's visualize the power we're talking about with a 30-06 here. Lime White Claw in view. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Think that did it. So we see our White Claw's splash zone here is a pretty direct hit. This can is absolutely ripped to hell. You see how much power you're dealing with when it comes to 30-06. I mean, it's no joke. 30-06 being a popular hunting round in the US, but also things like the M1 Garand and the Browning automatic rifle as well. Or the H-car, if you're a Chad. According to the official story, the shot was taken from a bathroom window from across the street of the Lorraine Motel. Dr. King was leaned forward on a balcony talking to people down below in the parking lot. So in order to simulate that, we're going to have a bit of an angle. The shot was taken, and according to the autopsy, it entered through King's jaw and left through his neck. Due to the kind of weird nature of this shot, it's gonna be a bit hard to replicate, but we're gonna try our best. So it was not a direct headshot in that way, but it was clearly enough to do enough damage so that Dr. King then later bled to death, thus making him a martyr for the civil rights movement and solidifying him as one of the most influential Americans in history. Or as kids know today, the reason why you get off a day in school in February. Oh, and if this video has been too edgy for you and you're offended already, you probably shouldn't subscribe, because that's kind of what we do around here. But if you're enjoying it and this isn't too much and it hasn't hurt your fee-fees, you should definitely subscribe. You'll fit in great here. So here we have everything more or less in position. We've got the head leaned forward a little bit, and we've got a pretty clear shot. Unlike the actual one would have been from the bathroom window, because apparently there was a big ass tree branch in the way, which made the shot virtually impossible, which thankfully, once that was found out, the Memphis PD cut it down in the middle of the night after the shooting to aid the investigation. Look, I'm just saying it's fucking weird, man. So real talk, I was genuinely curious when I heard about this conspiracy, so I reached out to my buddy who's really big into the conspiracy stuff to confirm, okay, did the FBI actually kill MLK? So, Wendigoon?
Hey everybody! Brandon invited me on the channel today to answer the question, did the FBI kill Martin Luther King Jr.? And given my own opinion with the evidence that we have, I believe yes, in fact they did. That is, unless of course Brandon's using this information for some kind of affidavit that might appear in, say, a courtroom. And in that case, my answer is nope.
For real though, Wendigoon is a friend. He's got an awesome channel if you haven't checked it out. All sorts of cool stuff over there. He's a great storyteller. It was actually his video on the MLK conspiracy that kind of, I mean, made me look into this a lot more, that's for sure. He kind of won me over on that. You know, you hear, oh, the FBI killed MLK, and you're like, okay, yeah, whatever, you know, whatever, dude. Then after watching, it's a very well-researched, very well-put-together video. After watching through the whole, like, what, hour and a half, I was like, oh, shit, the fucking FBI killed MLK. I almost forgot to mention that really cool time when the King family actually sued the FBI and other government agencies, saying that they were involved in the murder of their father, and the King family won. That's a real thing. You can look it up. All right, so let's get this on the road. I think that's a Matty boy. Yeah, that's demo. I don't know how to explain what we're doing today. So Matt, first off, thanks for letting us use your property for this, man. We appreciate it as always. On the record, do you believe that the FBI killed Martin Luther King Jr.?
On the record, is this going on the internet?
No, it's just shared between a couple friends.
Okay, I'm gonna say no. On the record, I do not believe that the government would ever do anything against us.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't either. Clearly not.
The
They're good people.
They have our best interests at heart.
They always have.
That's what I love so much about the government and most of the ATF.
That's why I love paying all of my taxes. So I'm just gonna double check to make sure this is zeroed. I'm gonna be shooting for the middle of the top white swinger, that steel up top there. Firing. Nailed it. Yeah. Good enough for government work. Well. All right, this is just a tricky shot because of how specific it's gotta be. And these dummies are very expensive, so let's try to give this a go. That hit the steel somehow? Bounce up into the steel? All right, let's see what we got. So we did have a neck shot. We didn't actually get the jaw. Actually, I think it might have grazed right past. It's very close to the bone, so there would have been a lot more actual muscle material here, but it grazed right through and opened up right into the neck, just like the original would have. You know, the more I actually shoot this thing, the more I kind of don't mind it. Like, the receiver is very much reminiscent of like a Remington 870. Kind of neat. It's a neat little piece of weapon design. And if you're interested to get your start in weapons design and or gunsmithing, weapons technology, you can check out sdi.edu. Links are in the description and in the pinned comment, as always. So we've seen the first wound channel. I'm gonna try again to get that jaw and see if we can get that fracture out of the neck, more like the original. We'll give it a shot. Firing in 3, 2, 1. Fuck me. That might have been a little dramatic. Let's see what we got here. All right, so it actually looks like we are pretty faithful to the shot. So if you look here, we clipped him right in the bottom of the jaw. This is a perfect shot. It splinters down out through the neck. The only problem is the base of these ballistic dummies is all one piece. So it looks like we blew his spine out, but that's not what actually happened. But pieces of this, this printed base here kind of fractured and ripped all up the rest with it. But actually the wound channel here is pretty damn close, as the bullet entered through the lower, well, his lower right portion of his jaw and then through the neck. On the actual wound, apparently, it was a lot more open this way, like it actually came and exited through here, but this is pretty close to the wound trajectory. Just to cover all of my bases, I wanted to be sure to tell you that all of my offhand remarks in this video have been complete satire. I'm an internet comedian and I am in moderately good health and have no intention on harming myself. So no matter what they say, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Even if they send me a letter telling me to off myself, which for the record, what they did to MLK right before. Yeah, seriously, if you don't believe me, go watch that Wendigoon video. He's got a great soothing voice to fall asleep to, or to make love to. I don't tell you how to live your life. POV, you have questioned the FBI's official story on anything. It's so fucking wrong. It's only polite to wash the blood off a bit. Sorry, Matt. On a real note, guys, this has been a very interesting line to walk this video because, you know, this is obviously a pretty somber and serious topic, but we're trying to introduce, you know, our own, you know, dark and edgy humor like we always do. And the hard part is finding that right balance, which hopefully we did today. If not, I'm always open to criticism, so you can send in your responses at... I'm going through a tunnel. But in all seriousness, guys, thank you so much for everything you've done and help the channel get to over 3 million subscribers and climbing. It means a lot to me. You guys will never understand what you mean to me. And yeah, it's been pretty wild. But don't worry, we've got plenty of content still in the chamber. The RPG video was super fun, and up next is gonna be one of my favorite videos, the Inglorious Bastards fist gun. Don't worry, we've got more dummies for that. So stick around, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you've got notifications turned on. I appreciate you staying all the way to the end, and as always, I'll see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks. Walking out ASMR.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
It's a pretty good little spray here. This clan is, oh God.